you? What do you want?
God sent me. Get out of here, Matt. I got to warn you. You're doomed to stay. Go.
Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome back to another Blood and Guts SlashOrama. And unfortunately, we have one that's not so good for you tonight. With me, as always, is the Springwood Slasher himself, Matt, over here. How you doing, Matt?
Well, I wish I could say I'm kind of doing good because this is almost like a therapy session because this is a movie for years that has really bothered me. So this will be a good venting session.
Yep, I'm gonna vent.
Other than that, I'm doing good. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, I'm still floating.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and break it down. We're talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 remake.
This is bad.
And Lord have mercy on our souls. Here we go.
Yeah.
Kick us off, Mad Matt.
Well, this beautiful piece of fine cinema known as the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was brought to us by Samuel Bayer, who is a hired gun from Platinum Dunes. So
Okay.
I don't really put all the blame on him because this is just something where it wasn't necessarily Michael Bay, but it's his company just buying up every remake or every property they could so they could do remakes for them. But in doing research for this, as you can tell, they actually have 15 scripts written at one time, and then Frankensteined it all down into one.
That's a sign of a good script.
That's a sign of a good script, exactly. You can tell by watching this. But like it's like they never really had a clue where to go. Which I can't remember their names, but they got the writers from Freddy vs. Jason, so I know that shows.
As you know, that's another one of our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Yeah, and what got me in doing the research for it was they said that they got those writers because they understood the characters so well.
Yeah.
And granted, some of the stuff may have gotten changed from what they've written down. So I don't really want to make this a bashing session on the writers because studios will come in and interfere a lot with things.
Sure. Yeah.
But it had a budget of $35 million, and Lord help us, it made its budget and then some with $117 million. So it had a big box office opening because people like me went and watched, which I didn't pay, but I still feel like I lost money. I had a gift certificate to go see it, but I still feel like I wasted money on it.
Yeah, and it's one of those that, I love Jackie Earle.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a great actor. I think he was born to play Rorschach.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him as the villainous town leader in the Preacher series that was on AMC, and a few others. But for this role, he was given, I'm sure, what he was given.
Yep.
And he couldn't even save it, and I don't think anybody could save it, really.
No. And the cast, I have a lot of issues with the casting too because who in this cast? Because everybody's like almost perfect in their looks, and some of them look way too old to be teenagers. So who as
Sure.
a teenager is going to relate to any of these characters?
They're not very memorable either.
No.
I mean, you got you think about your first iconic nightmare film, and think about how you remember those characters, how you remember them playing those characters.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that with this, folks.
No.
You're not going to get that.
No, I mean we do have some heavy hitters in here because you got Clancy Brown, and it just for the life of me you wonder what made him take this role.
Yeah, I wonder if it was the.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That might have been it.
And then Connie Britton, who plays the mom, Dr. Gwen Hallbrook, she's done some good work in the past too. But there's just a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, and I know they did a lot of stuff that was in the first film.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of try to keep it real, I guess you would call it,
mm-hmm.
keeping it real. But I think they tried to do it as fan service, and I think they tried to do it with good
Right.
intention. But it just came off as
Plagiarism.
plagiarism. We've seen this.
Right.
We've seen it done better. Why would you do it again? Kind of thing. And that's just my personal opinion, but
Yeah.
you know.
No, I'm with you. And it kind of goes back to what we have in conversations too. They couldn't, like in the script, they couldn't decide, do we want to go in a new direction? Do we not want to go in a new direction?
Right.
There were some things like you said, they wanted to do as fan service where it just felt like copying. But then there were some things they do that just like one instance, they kind of tinkered around with, is Freddy innocent? And I thought
playing
man,
with that
yeah,
that lore.
I thought this would be great if this is something they changed, because if he was innocent and then the parents killed him for something he didn't do because the kids just said whatever they said because they're kids, that would have been an interesting hook for me. But I guess they were afraid to go fully down that route, because then obviously he did do those
horrific things.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's another thing too. I know originally in the original Nightmare, Wes Craven wanted him to be a molester and not a murderer, but then like something happened. I want to say it was with the Catholic Church and stuff come out, so they wanted to move away from molesting, and just made him a straight up child killer.
Sure.
And I don't know why, but just like I don't know why. It's more I guess because both are heinous, but it just really makes you feel nasty thinking about like the molestation piece of it.
Yeah, and to kind of touch on the character differences. Is Englund, of course, could deliver a violent scene where someone had just been ripped apart or something
Right.
had just happened, but could almost do a comedy one-liner.
Right.
Or not even a comedy one-liner, but could almost even do like a serious quip there. He's just ripped you apart. He's going to do a serious quip, and you as the audience, you're almost going to chuckle at that.
Right.
You're going to go... I shouldn't be laughing at this as an audience member,
Right.
but I am anyway. Whereas Haley just delivers every line with a certain dryness.
Right.
It's like there's like even the comedic
It goes back to not understanding the character, like I said, because it's one of those things where you don't want to root for him because he's still a child killer, and the other one, this one, he's a child molester, so you don't want to root for him.
right.
But
Correct.
But Robert Englund gives that character so much depth, and he has so much charisma. Like I said, it's like you said, it makes you like want to see what's he going to do next, like what type of kill.
Yes.
Where with Jackie Earle Haley, they wanted him to be so sinister and so scary that he actually had no room
To play with comedy at all.
Right, exactly.
But you got to think about your classics. Like, okay, so let's take ourselves out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're stepping in to fill the role of Robert Englund.
Which is going to be hard to do.
It's going to be hard to do. So imagine too, as well as like a legend. I'm trying to compare it to another legend like Sir Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter.
Right.
You're stepping in to fill the shoes of Hannibal Lecter. The audience already knows the deck is stacked against you.
Right.
How are you going to do it? It's a Babe Ruth. You're going to swing and hit a home run, or you're going to swing and miss.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like definitely it's a miss for this one. And I'm just ranting here, but I feel like trying to feel if they came to me and said, "Hey, you want to replace Robert Englund in this thing?" I'm like, "No, I'm good, thank you.
Right.
I'll pass."
Well, one kind of like talking about coming to people. One thing like Wes Craven, he spoke out on this movie, said that never once was he's like consulted, like
Yes.
do you think they're going down the right path, things like that, because he would have gave his blessing for them to film it. He didn't have a problem with that. It's the fact that they didn't consult with him to say, hey, what do you think of this? Do you think we're on the right path, or do we need to tinker with this?
Yeah.
So it's almost like they gave him no respect at all. And it's amazing how in 2010 this movie looks way worse than 1984.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks worse. It's darker. It's just not darker as in tone, but darker as in I can't see shit on the screen, and it's not well lit. And
the CGI is terrible.
The CGI is terrible, but then you got to look at also. So this was, I'm gonna go ahead and use the word cash grab.
Yeah.
This is cash grab. So we got when refresh me, the Friday the 13th remake was what?
09.
09. So now we got 09, Friday the 13th remake. 2010, we got Nightmare remake. So this is a shameless cash grab of we're going to make all the money we can. And they're going to do it under the disguise of we're marketing this for a new younger audience.
The new modern audience.
The new modern audience. What? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not doing anything. You're not giving us anything extra. You're taking away.
Well, it's like kind of touch on that. I mean,
Sorry, I get heated and I go onto a rant.
No, you'll get me on a rant too, because I was going to say, because you hear that a lot, how they want to make things for the modern audience or the younger
but
audience.
you're not doing that.
But they're not, exactly, because it's just the audience who
It's just the audience
that wants to see a good movie.
You're trying to put asses in the seats, and you're trying to put money in your pocket off marketing something that was great, and you're churning out a turd. I'm sorry. I'm getting heated now. You wanted me to get heated?
Oh, well, yeah.
Fire me up. I'm fired up.
Like we kind of touched on the CGI there, but it amazes. Like you talk about the scene in '84 where you see Robert Englund coming out of the wall.
Yes.
And how
Exactly.
just because it's practical effects.
It's great.
How amazing
it's
that
a
looks.
scrim on a wall.
Yeah.
It's a damn scrim on a wall.
But now they want to put CGI where he's coming out of the wall, and it looks worse than what the Frighteners looked back in 1995.
Yeah, and I love the
doesn't hold up.
Frighteners.
Yeah, I'm not disparaging them. I'm talking about how they done it better.
Don't you knock the Frighteners.
He ain't never gonna finish this house.
You're never gonna finish this house.
But it just goes to show how it's like that there was no thought like let's make this practical effects. And I know like with Jackie's makeup, they wanted a more realistic burn victim. But I'm not going to watch a Nightmare on Elm Street movie to see a realistic burn victim.
No,
I just want to see a good performance. I honestly want to be able to see the character. So he looked like just a burnt. And Grant, they did a great job as far as that goes. He did look like a burn victim because I've seen pictures and stuff like that. But that's not really what I'm wanting to see. So it's almost like they missed the mark on what makes the character iconic.
Sure. So let me throw in one thing. Having said what you just said about the burn victim makeup, all that stuff, Robert Englund's performance, why would you do it?
Bernard! I hate Bernard!
Why would you do it? Why would you remake this?
Oh, it's money.
It's money.
Yeah.
It's all money.
Yeah.
It's all money. Why would you do it? And my other question to you is, Nightmare is considered one of the greatest slashers of all time. Some will consider it the greatest slasher of all time, which would be like remaking The Third Man or Citizen Kane or Jaws even. So if I said to you right now, I'm going to remake Jaws, this is how we're going to do it, you would look at me and go, are you stupid? What the hell is wrong with you? You know, why would you do it? Why would you remake a classic like that? There's no reason to.
No, I mean,
And you're not going to top it. You're not going to top it. You're not.
I'm torn on that because there's some remakes that far surpass the original. Like I love The Fly.
The Flies, yes, there are. The thing.
To me is like
course. Of course.
what's going behind it. That's my thing. It's like, do you actually have a good idea? Are you passionate about it?
But
or is it
you
a
know
cash
you're
grab?
not going to top this.
Like this one here is like, oh, Friday the 13th made a lot of money. You know what else can make a lot of money? Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
So
but
let's
you
tap
know
in.
you're not going to top Robert Englund.
No, and that kind of piggybacking off that. What's different about him, and I know you're not a fan of Friday the 13th. I can kind of take it or leave it with that one. Like there's parts I like, and then, like we can discuss that a different day.
But you're talking about Jason, who's a
silent killer.
a silent killer who speaks in motions.
Right.
Same. Now you're talking about Nightmare, which is Robert Englund,
Yeah.
who is the king of the one-liners, the king of the brutal
Who
slasher.
has personality.
Personality. And then you're going to take it and give it a character. I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize for that. But a character who, and Jackie Earle, sinister as shit. Yes, he is. One-liners and the cool stuff we know and love. No.
Well, that's what I kind of think is like Jason's the silent killer. He's been played by like 6 or 7 different actors. Leatherface, different actor every time.
Exactly.
Harry Warden in the remake, and this one different actor because it's covered face. No, like it's the same thing with Hellraiser. Whenever Doug Bradley started getting replaced as Pinhead, it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same. And the same with this. Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger. So if you're going to remake that, you best have somebody with a personality that's going to be able to do that performance, to be able to get through that makeup. And I mean, like I said, God forbid you don't want the audience to root for the killer, but I mean, let's be honest, people were rooting for Freddy to see how he's going to kill these people.
Yeah,
how they're going, that's how horror movies are.
Think about the Dream Warriors.
Yes.
And you know, I mean, as badass as it is, I mean, take a premise like that. We're giving them superpowers
Exactly.
in the dreams. We're going to
that's
put them up. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll get down that road later, folks.
But see, where they first messed up, it was the fact they had 15 scripts, and then they combined it down to 4. They never had a solid idea. That's
No.
the moment they knew that, they should not have tried to fast track this. Let's cultivate it, make sure we actually have a good idea to go for.
It's a cash grab,
And
the whole thing.
One thing, at first they thought about doing a prequel. I've always wanted to see a prequel, and even now, I know Robert Englund's old, like he's in his mid-70s now, but I would love to see him as a prequel now before he's actually burned, because he's that dirty old man where he could do that.
Yeah,
and,
he could.
and see how he became Freddy. Then they can springboard off into something else if that's what they want to do. But
Now you're getting wound up. I
oh,
love
I'll
it.
tell you, and but
He's just getting started, to
like I
quote
said, that's
Pacino.
something for years. They've always, like you talk about the Springwood Slasher. They've always talked
Yeah.
about prequel for years, and it just never. And I've always wanted, like, it's one of those you see on Futurama. Just shut up and take my money.
Mm-hmm.
I would be there opening night.
I would go as far as to say that Treehouse of Horror episode
Yeah,
with
Willie.
groundskeeper Willie as Freddy is better than this, and I mean 10 times, a million times better
That's
than
not
this.
even a discussion. It is better.
It is better than this when he turns into the tractor and he turns his thing. I'm sinking into the quicksand. I love it.
But this one was so bad. Here's the funny thing about, like, one of the other things I cannot stand. Let me get your take on this as well. Is what did you think of the micro nap? Or do you even remember? Like, have you tried to purge that from your memory?
I don't remember a lot of it.
Okay.
I've purged a lot of it, but I'm sure it's something freaking
In theory,
ridiculous.
it would be great, but they kind of just use it for jump scares in the movie. So basically, like, they're still awake, but where their brains are like, and if something could really happen, you kind of doze in and out, and so
Yeah,
Freddy's
like
kinda
REM sleep, you're kind of in and out the first
Right.
15 minutes. Yeah.
exactly. So like,
So there's science behind it, but
right, and I can dig it, but like I said, they just use it for jump scares. It's not nothing of substance in the movie. So to me, it's just waste.
sure.
But God, I'm gonna have to wind this one a little bit down. But like, so when this movie come out, here's the funny thing about it. When this movie come out, did gangbusters the opening weekend. I can't. I know it made like $30-40 million opening weekend because of people like me that show up. People, I'm a collector, friends and fiends. Because you see this here, you're like, if he hates it so much, why does he have it? Because
He is a collector.
I'm a collector of physical media. I have all the other
Quite
Nightmare on Elm Street
a
movies.
shelf of
Yeah.
several shelves of films right over here.
Exactly.
folks.
So if it's not on Elm Street, I'm going to buy it, and if they make another box set, I'm gonna buy the box set too. Cause,
Sure.
I'm that crazy. But what was the funniest thing to me was in doing the research, Jackie Haley said when that first weekend come out, all the money was rolling in. They called him in and said, "Hey, we're getting ready to make another sequel. Do you have any ideas of what you want to do?" It's like, yeah, I want to do this, that, and the other. But then that second weekend receipts come in, and you know what happened? It cratered because bad word of mouth. It dropped 72% its second week, and almost fell out of the top 10. So, so after they seen that and they seen how it's not even like Friday the 13th remake, I would say is divisive because you got a lot that like that one, you got a lot that hate it.
Right.
This one, overwhelmingly, majority of the fan base does not like this.
This
movie.
one makes my brain hurt.
Right. So the fans rejected this one, so they knew there wasn't no opportunities for a sequel.
Sure.
And thanks be to God, the rights now have reverted back to Wes Craven's estate. So if somebody wants to remake Nightmare on Elm Street or do, they've been tossing around doing a legacy sequel a la like the Halloween movies, they're going to have a very good idea to pry it away from Wes Craven's estate.
This goes into my Evil Adam category of just leave it alone.
Yeah.
There's several films that fall into that category. Lost Boys, one of them. Jaws, one of them. Several films fall into my just leave it the hell alone. This is one of them.
I agree because Robert Englund, he's just hard to replace.
I know.
That's the key ingredient
That's it.
with these. And I mean, now granted, if they make another one, I'm dumb enough. I'll go watch it.
He's gonna go watch it.
I'll go watch it because I give everything. I try to give everything the benefit of the doubt and give everything a chance because sometimes I am surprised.
You do have a kind heart like that.
yeah. But
That's why he'll send you $15 right now if you. No,
So-
I'm just kidding.
so as we know, we have the Goldblum scale here.
We
Evil
got
Adam.
the Goldblum scale, the coveted, Jeff Goldblum scale.
Yeah. So what do you have it?
Out of five Goldblums. We're going five. Five being the highest. I'm really finding it hard to give it one, but I'm going to be kind and give it one Goldblum.
Like we gave Pet Cemetery because I gave that one a 1 because like the first third of the movie I actually thought was okay. This one there's nothing redeeming to it. Like even like Rooney Mara, like after she made this movie, she almost quit Hollywood.
I know, and that's a horrible thing.
Yeah, for me, 0.
Zero. Okay, I'm retracting my 1, and I'm going with 0 Goldblums.
So, and actually, we're going to cut to Mr. Goldblum to see what he thinks about this movie.
Let's see what he says.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yep, there it is.
Couldn't say it better myself.
That's right. That's right. From the mouth of Goldblum. There it is.
So, Friends and Fiends, there you have it. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Like it's definitely it's scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's like
Let's call it polishing a turd.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go that far.
Yeah, no, because in the end of the day, it's still a turd.
Yeah.
So
how do you feel about it? Do you feel like we're too hard? Leave us in the comments and let us know. Because if you do like it, I want to hear like what you did like about it. Like I said, I'm not going to judge or nothing like that because we all have different tastes.
we will not judge you. We would just like to hear why.
Yeah. So make sure you like and subscribe this video. Like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
Send it to your friends, your enemies.
Yeah, send it to Goldblum, and we're going to leave it on this note. As far as our opinion on the film,
one final thought.
One final thought that we will leave with you is this one.
It stinks.